And another pleasant good afternoon to you. John Verlin once again with On Demand Advertising Solutions with another digital marketing update podcast. Got a email the other day from a gentleman named Brent in Roland Park, and he basically asked, he said, John, I checked out one of your animated videos and went to your website, was listening to several of your podcasts, and was just curious, do podcasts really work, and how do you do them? I guess he's just wanting really to know if they're effective. And Brent, the answer to that is yes, and that's why I'm doing this right now. And you may be listening to this even, or those of you who are may have the same questions. But basically, yes, they are effective. I like them because they're simple. They're easy to do. And again, everything's relative. In other words, if you're nervous about speaking, or you don't have a good voice and you sound like Daffy Duck or whatever, you may prefer writing, okay? I prefer podcasts because I was in radio, and we used to do these all the time for clients where we would record their ads as podcasts or as MP3 files, have them put them on their website, and talk to them about letting people know about those ads are on their website. And they would back that up with perhaps signage in the store saying, Joe Thompson Jewelry as heard on KYZ radio, from a visual standpoint to reinforce the fact they are on radio, because customers might come in and not even know that they had a radio ad. All of this works together, interlocking. All this media and marketing ties in together. It's what I call the marketing platform. It's all part of the package, basically. So yes, podcasting, Brent, is one avenue of content that is also searchable on the web when you transcribe it, as I am doing on this blog post, and then promoting it. It also is, to me, it's convenient. And I think for a lot of people who are now, over 50% using smartphones to search things and check things out, and they can just listen to it on their smartphone as they're walking or working out or whatever. You may be doing that right now and listening to this. So they're very accessible, in my opinion. So they're easy, they're accessible, they're entertaining, and you get to know me. You get to know, the customers get to know you by hearing your voice rather than just reading. Nothing against reading, I read a lot, but it just makes it on the go, quick, simple, and used a lot with mobile devices. Okay, so, and I appreciate the question. I hope I answered that sufficiently for you, which leads me into today's blog post. And that is, and I couldn't wait to do this podcast today because of the picture that I picked, and it's called Proof is in the Pudding. And if you see that picture, you look at it, you want to eat that right now. It is so good. But proof is in the pudding, turbocharging website traffic and building a front page search on Google. And I did that in about 8 months through a combination of things I want to talk about today, just to give you some food for thought. Number one, and this all comes down to one reason I started this business. You need to consistently post content, and I'm not the first to have said that. A lot of people say that. Matter of fact, I read a post today from a gentleman, I forget his name, who reiterated the consistency of good content. It's always been the case, folks. I mean, think about this. Ever since newspapers, ever since TV programming, radio program, if you have, in a sense, not good content, you're not going to draw as many. You'll still get some people. We found that in radio when we had, clients do radio ads themselves, and they had a terrible voice. Their message wasn't anything brilliant. If you need a plumber, call me, But in spite of the weaknesses, you might call that, it actually played up to their strengths, which was they were human. They connected with the audience. And that's really what all of this is about, is consistently connecting with your target audience. Nothing new there. It's just shifted to a more digital platform today as traditional media is shifting. And we just saw this, matter of fact, last week, there was a merger of two big radio companies to form a sports digital marketing platform for some of the sports stations one of the companies had, who I actually used to work with. So they're recognizing ongoing building out of their platform to offer sports programming for digital consumption through a platform, a streaming platform type of thing. So this is really nothing new, consistent content. And of course, I know a lot of you are saying, well, I've got a website, I've got content on it, it tells about my services. I understand that, but Google is like a ravenous dinosaur. It's constantly feeding off content. So you got to feed the beast, in essence. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, how do I do that? I don't want to, how many ways can I say we clean teeth? Well, that's where your blog comes in. Oh, a blog. Okay, yeah, I've heard this before, and these guys charge an arm and a leg to write blog stuff, and I just don't have time to read it all, and it's too much of a hassle, and I understand that. And that's one reason I formed my business as a consultant, was to help businesses do that, as I'm doing right now. But what's fun is if you do it in an interview format style. Somebody's interviewing you, talking about your specialty, your expertise, questions your clients or customers are having on a regular basis that you're answering through your podcast content. It's engaging, it's entertaining, hopefully. I still have yet to do an impersonation, which I will do. I promise you, I used to do these in radio, but I want to keep a little something behind so you can keep listening. At any rate, so it is, yes, they are effective, but it's consistently posting content. If you can't do it or choose not to, then if you feel you want to hire somebody, it's not super expensive. I don't charge an arm and a leg. I work through some local chambers and people I know and things like that. And yeah, I don't have 10 employees. I'm a consultant, right? So I don't have to charge near as much. So it can be done. You can see with some of the stats I posted in one of the other posts I did last week and it's actually on the exceeding the profile of your competition's profile on that page. You can see some of the stats of website traffic and also first page searches for my business. All of that's important because it was content that allowed that to happen. And you may say, well, why is that important? Well, because if you're a prospect for your business locally, you're probably going to search for the name of Jim Thompson Jewelry, maybe before you go out there. And if Jim Thompson Jewelry doesn't show up, they might kind of question, are they for real? Now, they can drive by your business, your brick and mortar business, and see it, but it adds credibility like nothing else. Why? Because this content, this whole shift in digital marketing and online presence is all moving there. I was at a Walmart the other day trying to find a faucet, and I just, lo and behold, whipped out my smartphone, checked on Amazon, and saw a better faucet. So I walked away and got it on Amazon. That's how people are using these smartphones now for searching for products, for services. You may be in a law firm right now in the lobby listening to this podcast, thinking about hiring a divorce attorney. So now you're going, well, wait a minute. He may have a point there. I'm going to search divorce attorneys on my smartphone as soon as I get done listening to this thing. And you may go ahead and search it and find another divorce attorney that's highly recommended through a rating system and or testimonials on their website. And you might just walk out of the room and go see that person. That's how important this is because people are doing that now. Second point I want to make is, as far as the proof is in the pudding and building and turbocharging your web traffic and front page search for your business, is consistently promoting the content. Here we go again. Johnny keeps saying consistently, ongoing. I don't like those words. I want this to happen in 3 months. Actually, I want it to happen in 30 days. My board wants it to happen last year. I understand that. All marketing, though, it's all good, and it takes time. That's just a fact of life. Unless you're the only business in town that does what you do and everybody knows about you, then great. But guess what? They don't know about you. Why? We've been through this before on some other podcasts, but multiplicity of channels now, multiplicity of platforms that are available for content. Whether you're checking out Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, so many platforms people can be checking out stuff. And that's why you've got to do things consistently, because you don't know what works. And if you do, direct mail, I had a chamber member say, well, we use these great big direct mail, big postcards, and they seem to be the best thing we've done. And that's great for now, but what about 6 months from now? That's why all this works together. You can't just say, well, this is a silver bullet. All of them are silver bullets that work together to get a shot off, to get that result you're hoping for on a regular basis. Have another prospect I talked to, pretty good sized business, millions of dollars a year, and they are in 6 magazines, TV, on the web, online. I mean, doing a lot of stuff, and they're struggling. They don't know they're painting huge letters on windows, on sale, and whatever. Who knows what works? They've tried it all, and they've realized they've got to keep doing it. Can't just stop, because some of that may bring in some of the targeted people. Now, yeah, I think they could probably target it better, but that's what we do, is consistently test and target, try to. And again, the third point I want to bring out, I just brought up, was multiple platforms and channels are ongoing. Okay? You need to be placed on multiple platforms with your content. Well, that's a lot of work. All this, I understand what you're saying, John, but this is a lot of work. I got a business to run. Exactly. And that's what caused me to want to form this business, was to help people like you who are struggling to do what I just said. Because they realize, most businesses I think realize this, the need for this type of content and ongoing promotion. They say, well, I'm running a TV schedule and I've got some postcards going out. Okay, that's great. And you're testing all that, because that will work for a while, then maybe it won't. Then what are you going to do? Ongoing content on a blog in an entertaining and engaging fashion consistently will engage prospects. That's the key. And as long as we have these digital platforms and we've got the various online mediums such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, then we're going to have people going on those. Now, once those are gone, there may be some brand new thing like artificial intelligence beaming a signal into your brain through a microchip. Then that's the new platform we'll have to get on and promote. So those are 3 reasons why I think it's important how you can see proof in the pudding by using those 3 to turbocharge your web traffic. And you can see on my blog post from last week some of the results I had over 8 months. And I'm like, wow. And you can see each of the blog posts that drew traffic from various sources, Facebook, Twitter, organic, wherever, even overseas. I didn't expect that. I didn't really want it, but okay. So if you're in India, had some nice comments from people listening to the podcast in previous months. Thank you. So it's really amazing how this interconnectedness with the web can really turbocharge things, but you can also target your local people, and they now have your content to check out, to compare with the competition. And that may make all the difference, is highlighting your expertise. John Verlin, On Demand Advertising Solutions. I'm a little over today, but if I can help you, any questions, email me at johnverlin12@attnt.net, or you can check out ondemandadvertisingsolutions.com. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you.